My name is Ryan Barbosa, and I am a production assistant intern from Bergen Community College. From our studio located in Madison, New Jersey, this is Real Good News.
I'm like the man they call a seeker. I'm a real truth speaker, and I always cut right to the core. And you know I really ask, cause I get right to the facts and get the answer to what I'm looking for. I can pronto play a lie, I'm a tireless and quiet. I've been a theorist thinker since my youth. My motive's on above ground. I've always been a bloodhound for the truth. The truth. You can learn, you can run, but the truth is like the sun.
Welcome to another episode of Real Good News, your local news show for Morris and Union counties. Later on in the show, Kate Chericello Tente from Healthy in the Garden State and Tommy Nanomaker will join us. Plus, we will have these stories.
Coming up in observance of American Heart Health Month, a conversation with South Jersey cardiologist Dr. Robert Singer. I'm Steve Lubetkin.
I'm Alan Swanson. On today's show, we revisit the growing concern over nanoplastics that are being found throughout our body. Scientists can finally see these microscopic particles, and many believe they are causing harm. The big question now is, what can you do about it? I'll share some simple steps to start reducing your exposure.
But first, here are your local news stories.
Thank you, Lisa. If winter feels too long for you, there is a simple way to lift your spirit. Start preparing for spring planting. The ground in our area is still frozen, so this is not about digging, this is about planning. Now is the perfect time to sketch out your garden. Decide what you want to grow this year: tomatoes, peppers, zucchini, herbs, or maybe more flowers for curb appeal. Order seeds early before popular varieties sell out. Set up a small indoor seed station with trays and lights so you are ready to start seedling in the coming weeks. You can also clean and sharpen tools, organize pots, and stock up fresh soil and compost. In the middle of winter, planning for spring gives you something hopeful to focus on. Warmer days are coming to town. Preparing now makes them feel a little closer.
Union County recently received notice that a new bagel shop is on its way. PopUp Bagels began in the home of its owner, Adam Goldberg, during the COVID-19 pandemic. What was initially just a series of pop-up sales ranging from Connecticut to New York has since taken the form of a full-fledged business with locations across the East and West Coast. Customers who visit PopUp Bagels will come face-to-face with a list of toppings based in minimalism, a series of unique dips such as Shirley Temple cream cheese, and bagels that fall on the smaller and crispier side. On February 11th, PopUp Bagels confirmed via a social media post that a new location will be opening in Westfield. While an exact date was not provided, residents of Union County who enjoy trying new and trendy food spots should keep their eyes peeled for this one.
In celebration of the 250th anniversary of the United States, Morris County has launched Read Across Morris County 250. This program will bring residents of all ages together to reflect upon and spark meaningful conversations about the founding of America. This initiative is being led by the Morris County 250th Anniversary Committee, Morris County Commissioner Christine Myers, and the County College of Morris President, Dr. Anthony Iacono. They are inviting families, classrooms, libraries, book clubs, and community organizations to participate in this reading experience through curated reading lists. According to Dr. Iacono, Read Across Morris County 250 reinforces the importance of lifelong learning by inviting the entire community to engage with America's founding story, examine multiple perspectives, and better understand the values that continue to shape our society.
In Morristown, New Jersey, there is a place that quietly changes life every single day. It is called the Seeing Eye. For nearly 100 years, this organization has trained guide dogs to help people who are blind live more independently. It all started with a man named Maurice Frank and his dog, Buddy, who proved to the world that a trained dog could safely guide someone through busy city streets. Today, puppies are raised by volunteers, then trained in Morristown before being matched with someone who needs them. When that match happens, it's more than training. It's a partnership built on trust. The Seeing Eye has helped thousands of people gain confidence, freedom, and a new sense of possibility.
Union County has scheduled a final meeting regarding its hazard mitigation plan, and residents are invited to participate. The Union County 2026 Hazard Mitigation Plan serves as an update to the county's 2021 plan. It outlines strategies meant to reduce long-term risks to people, property, and infrastructure posed by natural and man-made hazards. The plan brings together municipal partners, emergency management professionals, and community stakeholders to proactively tackle possible emergencies within the community. The Union County Division of Emergency Services is hosting a final public meeting regarding the plan, where members of the community can ask questions and offer feedback before the plan's final submission. The meeting will take place virtually on Wednesday, February 25th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. To review the current draft or register to attend the meeting, visit the link shown on your screen.
Mayor Kathleen Miller Prunty and the staff of the Township of Cranford came together on Friday, February 6th for Women Wear Red in honor of Heart Health Month and as a pledge to spread awareness of cardiovascular disease, especially in women. Women and men share similar heart attack symptoms. However, women are more prone to certain symptoms such as shortness of breath, nausea, and vomiting, and pain in back and the jaw. In order to lower the risk of cardiovascular disease, manage blood pressure and cholesterol, prevent or manage diabetes, avoid tobacco use, eat a healthy diet, and get regular exercise activity. The Union County Office of Health Management has provided a brochure with additional statistics and information, which can be found on the Township of Cranford's website.
Right here in Madison, there is a place where patience, care, and love changes everything. It's called St. Hubert Animal Welfare Center. For more than 80 years, St. Huberts have been giving animals a second chance. Was started in 1939 as a small shelter for lost and abandoned dogs, have grown into a lifetime for thousands of animals each year. When a dog or cat arrives, they are often scared, confused, and sometimes hurt. The team at St. Hubert steps in with care, patience, and compassion. The animals receive medical attention, a safe place to rest, and time to feel secure again. But the real magic happens when the right family walks through the door. A shy dog finds someone who understands. A playful kitten finds home full of laughter. And just like that, a new chapter begins. St. Hubert's also support pets owners in the community with vaccine clinics, food assistance, and training programs to help families stay together. It's more than a shelter. It's a place of hope, and it's right here in our own backyard.
Union County residents looking to declutter their homes will get numerous opportunities to do so this spring as the area kicks off its series of seasonal recycling events. The Union County Board of County Commissioners has announced that Union County's seasonal recycling program will begin this March with a weekend of shredding. Every year, Union County holds free shredding events from March to October, and during these 7 months, mobile paper shredding trucks are brought to various locations where residents can have their personal documents properly disposed of. In addition to the shredding dates, Union County will also hold events where residents can dispose of scrap metal and household hazardous waste. The first weekend of shredding will take place on Saturday, March 21st and Sunday, March 22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the West Hall parking lot of the Union County Votech campus. For more information about this and other recycling events, visit the link shown on your screen.
Hope One travels 4 times a week to locations throughout Morris County, bringing services to people in need. The Mobile Recovery Access Vehicle offers critical support for people struggling with addiction. The closest date for Hope 1 is on Monday, February 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Long Valley Pharmacy. Hope 1 will also be available on the 24th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Morristown Green, the 26th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Pequannock High School, and the 27th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Homeless Outreach Mission.
A family in Morristown, New Jersey, is asking for urgent help to save their 14-year-old son's life. Thaddeus Giansanti was born with a kidney condition and has lived his entire life with only one kidney. That kidney is now failing and is not working properly. Doctors said he needs a new kidney soon in order to stay healthy. Thaddeus has undergone many surgeries since he was a baby. His condition has worsened, and doctors say he now needs a kidney transplant as quickly as possible. His parents, Krista and Carlo Giansanti, are searching for a living kidney donor. Neither parent is a match, so they are reaching to our community for help. To learn if you may be a match and register as a potential donor, the family shared the donor screening center. Also, you can contact the hospital at 973-972-4300 to begin the process. Doctors explain that a person can live a normal life with one kidney. A potential donor must be in good health and willing to complete medical testing.
This month marked the grand opening of a new martial arts institute in Union County. Kombat Brazilian Jiu Jitsu officially opened in Clark Township with a special ceremony on February 7th. The event consisted of a ribbon-cutting ceremony and special classes for children. The Academy's owner and instructor, Halo Dessa, has earned multiple Pan-American Championship titles and a bronze medal at the World Jiu-Jitsu Championship. The Academy, which welcomes all levels, caters to multiple interests for both adults and children, including self-defense, recreation, and competition.
The mayor of Union Township, Patricia Guerrero Frazier, extends congratulations to the township's young athletes. The travel basketball program finished with a staggering overall record of 83-42 during the 2025 season. The 5th and 7th grade boys teams fought their way to the top to win their respective divisions. The 2025 season marked the first time in the program's history that 100% of the travel basketball teams earned a spot in the postseason playoffs. Union Township is equally invested in expanding opportunities for all residents. The girls' basketball program, for example, has seen a surge of participation by more than 15% in 2025.
Long before New Jersey became the state we know today, two small settlements helped shape its future. The first was Bergen, founded in 1660. It was established by Dutch settlers in what is now Jersey City. At that time, the region was part of New Netherland. Just 4 years later, in 1664, another community was founded. Elizabethtown, now known as Elizabeth, was the first English settlement in the colony. It quickly became an important political center and even served as New Jersey's first capital. Both towns were built on land originally inhabited by Lenape people. Over time, these early settlements grew and helped lay the foundation for the state's government, economy, and identity. Today, Bergen and Elizabeth stand as a reminder of New Jersey's earliest colonial beginnings and the different culture that shaped the history. For Real Good News, I'm Georgette Castro.
A soccer program for young children is soon expected to make its way to Union County. Originating in New Jersey and Staten Island, KidsUnited is a business which offers early development soccer training programs for children ranging from 18 months to 9 years old. The curriculum of these programs is not only intended to help children build their athletic abilities, but also their confidence and skills such as teamwork and coordination. As of now, KidsUnited has locations from coast to coast, several of which are located here in New Jersey. According to their website, a new facility is coming soon to 745 Morris Avenue in Union. Additionally, new sites are expected in Raritan and Norwood. For Real Good News, I'm Xavier Reed.
In celebration of the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution, a special presentation titled The Lenape Native Americans, New Jersey, and the American History will be held. This presentation will be led by Seton Hall's University History professor, Dr. Sean P. Harvey, who will delve into the rich history of the Lenape people who resided in New Jersey during the time of European colonization. The presentation will be held on February 24th at 6 p.m. in the auditorium of the Trailside Nature and Science Center. The event asks that those interested register online. And now, here's Tommy Nonamaker.
Hey, for good news, I'm Tommy Nonamaker, and there's been a lot of local hockey news from the past week. So in Morris County, Park Regional saw its postseason run come to an end Wednesday night in the Halverson Cup, falling 3-2 to West Morris at Menon Arena. Park Regional scored once in both the first and second periods, but was held scoreless in the third as West Morris edged ahead to secure the championship. Andrew Steinberg found the net for Park, while Dylan Aker recorded 2 assists to lead the team with 2 points. Goaltender Milan Gelman made 16 saves in the loss. West Morris was led by Joseph Bruno with a goal, while Shiva Kudikat added 2 assists for a 3-point night. Goaltender Mark Debus was the difference late, stopping 41 shots to preserve the 1-goal victory. Also in the Morris County postseason action, Morristown broke open a tight game with a 4-goal third period to defeat Madison 6-2 in the first round of the NJSIAA North Public Sectional Tournament. After a scoreless first period, Morristown struck on special teams in the second. Luke Williams opened the scoring on the power play, and Wesley Thomas followed with a shorthanded goal to make it 2-0. Madison pulled within 1 early in the third, but Morristown answered immediately with an offensive surge, scoring 4 goals in just over 8 minutes. Conrad Caro, Louis Harry, Williams, and Harry again all found in the back of the net as the Colonials pulled away. Madison's Nick Worthington made 43 saves to keep his team within reach, while Morristown netminder Artie Conover turned aside 14 shots. Morristown advances to face the winner of Northern Highland and Glen Rock. In Union County, Governor Livingston, New Providence, delivered a dominant postseason performance, shutting out Freehold Township 8-0 in the first round of the NJSIAA South Public Co-op Sectional Tournament. After a tight opening period, the Highlanders exploded for 5 goals in the second and never looked back. Owen Cook led the way with a hat trick, while Alec Novodany posted a 4-point night with a goal and 3 assists. Charlie Zarenko and Liam Gowan each added goals and assists during the second period surge. Governor Livingston continued the pressure in the third with power play and even strength goals, while goaltender Jason Wachtel was perfect, stopping all 16 shots for the shutout. The Highlanders outshot Freehold Township 44-16 in the win. With the victory, Governor Livingston New Providence advances to face Toms River East in the quarterfinals on Thursday, February 26th. On February 13th, Liquid Church partnered with the Tim Tebow Foundation to host Night to Shine, a prom designed especially for teens and adults with special needs. The annual event transforms an ordinary evening into an unforgettable celebration, giving every guest the chance to experience a true prom night, complete with music, dancing, and plenty of smiles. From the moment attendees arrived, they were treated like royalty, welcomed with enthusiasm, and surrounded by volunteers dedicated to making the night a special one not to forget. The dance floor stayed full throughout the evening as guests laughed, danced, and created memories that will last a lifetime. For families and participants alike, Night to Shine offered more than just a party. It provided a powerful reminder of belonging, dignity, and unconditional celebration. Events like this continue to shine a spotlight on the impact that local organizations and volunteers can make when a community comes together with purpose and heart. Back to you.
And now it's time to hear from our good friend, Kate Chericello-Tente from HealthyInTheGardenState.com.
An exercise that would help their golf game, it would be anything pulling. So the one thing that happens is that with the kinematic sequence of the golf swing, you want to be able to use your glutes and your hips to generate that power from the ground. But essentially, it's really about pulling that club from the top of your backswing down into the ball. So any rowing motions will work the posterior chain or your back muscles or your lats. Those are the ones that help to pull. And then any hinging type motions like a deadlift or a Romanian deadlift or an RDL or even like a step up, those things will activate your glutes and your posterior chain down your leg. So those two combinations would be my choice.
Just one step at a time. And it can be overwhelming. But once you start to understand the breadth of the issue, you want to do better. And you want to do better for yourself. You want to do better for your own health, for your family, any children. It is a learning curve, right? You learn how to use a shampoo bar, or you switch to powder detergent, or you switch to a refillable liquid detergent. And once you do that one thing and it works for you, you're like, oh, this isn't that hard. And then they do another thing.
We're grateful for Kate's work and invite you to check out Healthy in the Garden State at the end of today's show. And now here's Steve Lebecken from State Broadcast News. Take it away, Steve.
Thanks, Lisa. February is Heart Month, when the American Heart Association offers tips for better heart health. And this month on the Seekers of Meaning TV show and podcast, Rabbi Richard Address spoke with South Jersey cardiologist Dr. Robert Singer about some things you can do to improve your heart health.
And the first thing I want to talk to you about, because so many of us, me included, are on some sort of statin. So first of all, or maybe the 3 or 4 people left who don't know what that is, but what's a statin? Not the island. You know,
A statin is essentially a cholesterol-lowering medication. And what we're interested in people with cardiovascular disease is keeping their LDL, low-density lipoprotein, as low as possible with a statin. So if there's established cardiac disease, you want to keep your LDL levels very low with a statin. Those numbers are either 70 or less than 55, depending on which numbers you believe. And it's really a cornerstone of treatment for cardiologists and bringing down cholesterol.
has any of the research changed in the last 15, 20 years about the level of cholesterol, good, bad cholesterol, other cholesterols? Is there something new on this?
There actually is. Overall, the mantra is to keep the LDL cholesterol as low as possible. So if you have pre-established cardiovascular disease, you've had a heart attack, you've had angina, they've picked up plaque in the arteries, be it your carotids or your heart or elsewhere, you want the LDL as low as possible. But there are some new things out there. In Europe, very often they follow something called ApoB, apoprotein B, which is a better marker of overall cholesterol levels. We don't usually follow in this country, but I think we're going to switch to it. And then something that's new is called lipoprotein little a, or LP little a. It's a marker. At this point in time, it's a once in a lifetime test.
Many of us have these things, these Apple watches or things that are hooked up to my phone, tells me all kinds of information, whether I want it or not. But the health app, I've had, my primary doctor says, you could really get a good reading on some of this stuff out of your health app. And you can take your EKG and this what is VO2 score?
It's essentially how much oxygen that your body is demanding. And it's very hard to get that from an Apple Watch. I'm not sure that they have it on there, but if you say they do, they do. But it's usually during a stress test where they put a mask on you and they measure how much carbon dioxide you're putting out and how much oxygen you're taking in. It's very important, but it's not a test that's widely used, and it's a tough test to do. So, but the Apple Watches I love. I mean, they give you a lot of information.
And so if person A has this symptom or something, doesn't necessarily mean that you're living in the same environment that you are going to have this same disease or symptom.
Right.
Which leads me to ask you to sort of like riff on the trinity of genetics, diet, and environment, and how they sort of like inform our own heart health.
Before we get to that, let me just go back to the Apple Watch, because a really high amount of problems in seniors comes from strokes, which very often come from the heart and atrial fibrillation. So the Apple Watch is really important to say, how much atrial fibrillation we have, and it can really alert us. People would just have strokes and then we'd find out that they had atrial fibrillation. And this may be able to tell us before you come in with your stroke that you have this rhythm problem with the heart, which leads to strokes. So I think the Apple Watch is going to be important in the future in defining, and preventing stroke.
There is a thing on the phone or on the watch to warn you about AFib. So is that still, that's still pretty much the standard?
As much as possible. Again, keeping muscle mass and cardiovascular health is important, and balance is so important as well. So we're not falling down when we get to be in our late 80s or in our 90s. So balance is important. Keeping core muscles strong is really important for an improved lifestyle as we age. And that's what it's all about.
From your perspective, Dr. Singer, are you optimistic about the future of cardiac care in this country?
I think cardiovascular care there's exciting changes. You know, we haven't talked about things like aortic valve replacement. Seniors are prone to aortic valve stenosis, a blockage of the aortic valve. And nowadays they do, without opening your chest, they do something to the groin called TAVR, transcatheter aortic valve replacement. You're in and out of the hospital in 24 hours with the new aortic valve. It's amazing. When you had a leaky mitral valve, they used to bring you to the hospital and open up your chest and repair your mitral valve or replace it.
And what's the best piece of advice you want to give to people right now about their cardiovascular health?
Be active. Exercise 5 days a week, 30 minutes a session. Work your way up to that. A combination of both cardiovascular exercise, getting on the treadmill, elliptical, and also weights to keep muscle mass. As far as eating goes, eating clean, cut back on the processed foods, get fish into the diet, a balanced diet, eat greens. So it's all the stuff your mother told you. It's really the same stuff. And basically keep pushing at it. Watch your balance, but exercise and clean eating are really the best way for longevity right now.
You can watch the complete interview with Dr. Singer about heart health at jewishsacredaging.com. For more information about heart health and research, visit the American Heart Association at heart.org. And that will wrap things up for us here at State Broadcast News in Cherry Hill. I'm Steve Lubetkin. Lisa, back to you.
Finally, here's our very own Alan Swanson.
In my last commentary, I brought up the fact that we are taking in minute particles of plastic through our skin, from the air we breathe, and through just about everything we consume. We know this because scientists have only recently developed the technology that can see nanoplastics in our body, and they have found them virtually everywhere. Now, nanoplastics are the microscopic particles created from plastics that are invisible to our eye, but are being found just about everywhere in our bodies. I also pointed out that those minute particles of plastic are composed of the chemicals used to create the plastic, and that most of those chemicals are not even identified. And those that are, many are considered dangerous. The only part of the equation missing is what specific damage these plastics in our bodies could be creating. Now comes the hard part. What can you do to decrease your personal exposure to microscopic plastics? This is a colander, and we all use them with our spaghetti or whatever. It's plastic. Heat brings out those plastic microscopic pieces, and they can enter our body. How about your plastic cutting board? Go to the store, get yourself a bamboo or wood. Yes, you have to clean it, but it'll be better. How about hand soap? How many containers of hand soap do you use over a lifetime? Get yourself a glass container and go to a place where you can refill it. How about your shampoo container? It looks a little complex. I'm going to open it right here for you. All of this will not exist in the future. And believe me, I use these. They're great. How about scrubbing? When you put a little bit of this powder and a little bit of water, this will scrub anything. There are many more that I can do. But I want to tell you the best thing to do is to get out and investigate yourself. The items that I'm presenting to you come from a store called Sustainable House Mercantile in Summit. Jeanette, the owner, is probably one of the best experts on plastic pollution and toxins in plastics, and her staff can help you a lot. Go to Summit, stop in at Sustainable House, and just talk with Jeanette or the others that are there. They will give you all the information you need to know about ways that you can avoid microplastics. There are other stores as well. There's a refillery in Boonton and one in Maplewood. But the best thing to do is to do what I've said over and over again. Do your own research. Look up nanoplastics. Look up the issues that I've brought up to you and make your own decisions. I'm Alan Swanson. Thank you for watching.
One last story of note from the 2026 Winter Olympics. Alex Carpenter from Morristown, New Jersey, helped the U.S. women's hockey team win gold at the Winter Games. After earning silver in past Olympics, she finally captured her first gold medal as Team USA defeated Canada in a thrilling overtime victory. For Morristown, it is a proud moment, watching one of its own reach the very top of the sport and bring home Olympic gold. Congratulations, Alex. And thank you for joining us on this episode of Real Good News. We will spring ahead on March 8th when we return for another episode. And until then, I'm Lisa Allen with a reminder that real good news is always worth sharing.
Now, a lie is halfway around the world. For the truth can put on its pants. Tell the truth. So my mission without fail is helping you prevail. You got to give the truth a fighting chance. Tell the truth. Beauty's truth, truth is beauty. And it's my civic duty to always write a reality. More than love, money, fame, more than rip on your good name.
I'll tell you something else about the truth, it will
Set you free on the road to truth you take. There's only two mistakes. Don't go all the way or don't even stop. Now sometimes truth is pain.